Why, hello, replay viewers. Let's see who tunes in. It's a very special day here in New York City and the country. Well, let's see who tunes in. Good to see you, Miss Cecilia. Welcome. First one in the room. Good to see you, Griff. Welcome. Good to see you, April. Welcome. Good. 3 out of 3. We're batting good. 3 out of 3. Let's go down to the waterfront. Back in my neighborhood. Just saw a copper relief of Giovanni de Verrazano, the man who they named the Verrazano Bridge after. But today's a very special day. Today is November 25th, and 237 years ago, if we were right here, British troops would be leaving New York in an occupying manner for the last time. It's Evacuation Day. Happy Evacuation Day, everybody. Hope everyone has a fantastic Evacuation Day. We used to celebrate this holiday for over 100 years. We stopped celebrating it after the First World War in solidarity with the British. So let's go down. I'm going to show you exactly where the British troops left from, because it's right here in my neighborhood. And this is something that I wish I learned in elementary school, but this is something they never taught me in elementary school. This is something I found out in my 20s. And I was like, you mean to tell me one of the most significant places in the country when it comes to the British is right here? So it's kind of ridiculous. Just gotta hang out here for a second. Actually, no, we'll do this. Let's go back in the park. We will go back in the park. Good to see you, John. Yeah, I'm up early. Gotta have to catch the replay. We're gonna go down to the waterfront here, and I'm gonna show you the last spot where British troops were here in an occupying manner. Guy Heyman, driving the roads of America. Good to see you. Good to see you, Nigel. Welcome. Happy Evacuation Day. There was a loyalist family that used to live right around here, and they operated a ferry called the Denzine family. And when British troops invaded, so the Battle of Brooklyn kind of begins literally right here where I'm walking. And it's kind of amazing because there are a lot of Dutch families that still resided out here, like the Cortelyus, and they were loyalists. They were loyalists to the British Crown. And when when the British troops invaded this area in August 1776, they had very little resistance here. There was literally only 3 cannons, and one ship called the Asia completely dominated and helped the British troops come here pretty much unscathed. They made their way up to where Prospect Park is today, where Prospect Park and Greenwood Cemetery are today. That is the main battleground there. The only victory of that battle that George Washington had was that he was able to keep his Continental Army together. He evacuated them in the middle of a fog over the Gowanus, what is today the Gowanus Canal. Back then it was like a swampy marshland area, and across the East River back to Manhattan. Right now I'm walking through this is the basketball court that is used in the movie Saturday Night Fever with John Travolta. But I will be on later on tonight. And we're going to see the Christmas homes here in Bay Ridge. We're going to see which homes are turned on. That's going to be around 9 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow night at 8 o'clock, we're going to be in Diker Heights. And we're going to literally do a survey of about, I'm going to walk probably 6 miles tomorrow on live stream. So get ready for that. You love the history that there is. They're supposed to be buried. Yes, John. I have heard of that too, but I'm pretty sure that's only a myth. I'm pretty sure that's only a myth. But I've heard that story that people are buried over there near 3rd and 25th, and that's an easily kind of thing because it's an easy kind of thing to get messed up because basically, you know, that's Greenwood Cemetery. And there was a major battle there, so it's quite possible that they may have, the troops out there in the field. They may have buried them out there while they were still deployed out in the field. But, yeah. Who knows? Yeah, they're searching there, but no luck. I could imagine. I mean, that whole area... 3rd Avenue is literally one of the oldest streets in all of New York City. That road that's today 3rd Avenue, that dates all the way back to Lenape, the Canarsie, all the various tribes that were in this area. Hello, native New Yorker, welcome. That was literally a street. And then like during like the Dutch era, the street really becomes more pronounced because there was a lot of good clamming down in this area here. A lot of good shellfish. Good morning there, Retro Jess. On your way to the dentist? I'll see you later there, John. I'll see you tonight. Yeah, today you get 2 live streams. This is going to be a short one, though, because I have to actually go grocery shopping myself. Absolutely, Nigel. Yeah, hopefully sometime soon. Hopefully sometime soon when everything gets back together. That's a lot of dust in my eye just there. Oh, I'm blind. Oh man, that thing whipped with a lot of dust. Okay, let's keep going. As we come up on Fort Hamilton, and roughly in the area where Fort Hamilton is, this is where the Cortelyous live, and the Dendines live, and further down the Cropseys. Just tuned in out there in am I in Astoria? No, I'm not, Joe. Joe Hernandez, good to see you. I'm not in Astoria. I am in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And this is Happy Evacuation Day. Happy Evacuation Day. This used to be a federal holiday for over 100 years. About to start doing your cakes and pie. Nice. I love Bay Ridge. I love Bay Ridge. Protest and vote equals justice. I agree. You know what's, to be honest, Astoria and Bay Ridge look very similar because a lot of the building types are quite similar. They were built in the same time period. So it's quite easy to get Astoria mixed up. And there, I'm going to, a little confession here. I used to have some friends who used to live up in Astoria. And on a regular basis, I will get, have a few drinks in me, if you will. And I was back in that day where I was always on my bike. And damn it, I can't walk up that way. Why is he parked in the park like that? Anyway, good to see you, Casserole. Welcome. It's your birthday. Happy birthday, Casserole. Happy birthday and happy Evacuation Day. There's a mounted unit. It's a horse in there. Nice. But yeah, I got drunk a few times, and I thought I was in Bay Ridge when I was actually in Astoria. I remember going around this one block in particular, and I thought I was on my home block. I thought I was here in Bay Ridge, and I kept on going around the block and around the block and around the block, and wasn't home. And then I realize, I look out and I see the RFK Triborough Bridge and the Hellgate Bridge. And I'm like, oh wait, those aren't the bridges in my neighborhood. Spice cake and strawberry cake and sweet potato. Nice. Enjoy. You're more than welcome, casserole. There's Verrazano Bridge. Happy birthday, Casserole. Casserole, your birthday's on a very important date in United States history. It's Evacuation Day. This is when British troops last left in an occupying manner. Remember that here in the Battle of Brooklyn in August 1776, George Washington lost. He had to give up Brooklyn, or what is today Brooklyn. Ferried his troops under the cover of fog and night back to Manhattan Island, and they were able to hold on to Manhattan Island. Yep, bashed the Brits indeed, yep. We tore down that statue of King George III, melted it down into musket balls, and we cut off the little finnels off the fence that is still there today. Never been to this area before. It's pretty nice. Yeah, this is real history. I don't just make this stuff up, folks. You can go look it up. And actually, that monument, this monument right over here, this is called the Dover Patrol Monument. And this is in honor of the Dover Patrol that kept the English Channel safe from the Germans. And this was a unified battle with the U.S. naval forces, the French naval forces, and the United Kingdom naval forces. There's a copy of this monument on the cliffs of Dover and on the north coast of France. But this is the reason why we don't celebrate Evacuation Day, is World War I. But the French partied with us back in November 25th, 1783. Is that where the Bronze Bull is? Yes, it is. Yep. Bowling Green. And we were there just a few days ago. Actually, 2 days ago. We were there. Walked around in the wind. Today, still a little breezy, but okay. Not that bad. Good to see you there, Wilbs, driving the Northern Line. I saw you watching Action Kid early this morning. My heat woke me up this morning. I woke up at 6:30 this morning and I'm like, the heat is killing me. I can't breathe. So I woke up and then I saw whatchamacallit. I saw Action Kid was on. I was like, whoa, Action Kid's on? It's 6:30 in the morning. And then I tuned in. He was already on for an hour at that point. So the kid went on at 5:30 in the morning. I gotta respect that kid's hustle. Yeah, you remember from the tour, it's awesome. 4th Avenue. So much history in New York. New York is older than the nation itself. So, that's what people always forget is that, going back to the 1600s, there's people here. Since 1624, there's people here. Granted, the various Native American tribes, that dates all the way back some 3,000 years. But a lot of people seem to forget that. So when they talk about, I love when people go about the crazy liberals in New York City. It's like, well, this is how we were. This is our history, being liberal and pushing back against authority. That's what we do here. We've been doing it since the crown and the monarchy back in the 1700s. Now, I want to see if that plaque is still there. I think there was a plaque that showed where the British ships were moored off the coast here. Thank you for subscribing and thanks for sharing. I've been doing live streaming for 5 years. If it's got a question last night on Twitter, how long have I been live streaming for? 5 years. 5 years. I've been doing this for quite some time. Yeah, that's from the English time. That's from the English period. This was a birthday gift. This was a birthday gift to the Duke of York, if I'm not mistaken. Thanks for sharing on Facebook. That was from the New York period. And then before, we were, of course, well, just Manhattan was called New Amsterdam. This area here in Brooklyn, when we were Dutch, this was called New Utrecht. I'm trying to pronounce Utrecht like a Dutch person. Most of us Brooklynites call it Utrecht. New Utrecht. It's New Utrecht. And a lot of the Dutch were loyalists to the Queen. So when we were occupied here, and the occupation, mind you, lasted a bunch of years. It lasted until 1781. And then that's when the British troops formally said, okay, we're going to give up fighting now. We're going to go back home. But it wasn't until 1783, there was a weird 2.5, 3-year period where you didn't really know, war could break out at any time. So people didn't know what was going to happen minute by minute, moment by moment. Considering that there was still, after the drawing down of arms, there were still over 20,000 British troops here in Brooklyn. War could just break out at any time, and it was a very uneasy period. And then the crazy thing is that the Americans, they couldn't pay their soldiers. The soldiers, for the most part, were taking care of themselves, and they may not even have the arms to fight. So it was a very interesting time. And today, 137 years ago, that was kind of the beginning of the end of it, because now the troops finally did leave. Oh, that was fun. I hope it snows again soon. I want to do that again. And I have good news. I found my second gimbal battery. I don't have to connect the gimbal to the battery anymore when the battery goes dead. I have a second battery. And Wills with the 3-pounder. Thank you so much, Wills, for the 3 pounds. And thanks for the super sticker. Will's getting my next Metro card ride into the city. But I am ready to do Prospect Park in the snow. Oh man, so ready to do that. And of course also check out the polar bears swim. Now, did they take away the plaque? I think they took away the plaque. They did take away the plaque. Probably because kids were destroying it all the time. I'll see you later, Will. Thank you so much for the super chats, and be safe out there driving the Northern Line. We'll meet up at Hampstead Heath sometime. I have a weird fascination with the Hampstead Heath station as of late. And of course, my favorite station named Hogfold. They took away the plaque. That sucks. I was really hoping to show you guys the plaque. There was a plaque down here that talked about Evacuation Day, and it showed where the ships were moored off the coast here. Yeah, the sun was just out, RetroJess. Like, the sun was literally out, like, as I was setting up the live stream, and these clouds just came in. I was hoping to walk into sunshine, damn it. Yeah, they got rid of it. Ooh, they got rid of the sign. This talks to us about all the lovely life here in the water. The abundant life here in the water. There it is, the Verrazano Bridge. The 14th longest suspension bridge in the world. One of the first bridges in the world to have to take into account the curvature of the earth. She is the longest suspension bridge in North America, longer than the Golden Gate by 62 feet. Those towers that you see, from the high water mark to the top, are roughly 649 feet tall. If we were to follow all the way down into the foundations of the towers there, if we were to wipe away all this water here, drain all this water from the Narrows, and look all the way down to bedrock, these towers would be roughly 1,400 feet tall. That is roughly the height of the Empire State Building. Kind of amazing. The channel here is quite deep. The channel here is about 92, 95 feet deep right there. So quite deep water here. Quite a fast-moving estuary. I hope the wind noise isn't too bad for you guys. It's a little windy down here. But now let me show you Denzine's Wharf. Denzine's Wharf is where the troops actually left on this day 237 years ago. November 25th, 1783. That's right, Alexander. Good to see you. Welcome to Brooklyn. Welcome to Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. And there's the Verrazano Bridge. You know, it's kind of amazing. These towers of the bridge are roughly 1/8 inch further apart at the top than they are at the bottom to compensate for the curvature of the earth. Kind of amazing. Good to see you, not today. Welcome, welcome. Join me later on tonight at around 9 o'clock. Because at 9 o'clock tonight, we're going to do a little survey. Who has their Christmas decorations up here in Bay Ridge? We're going to do that. Nice. We'll do a nice maybe 2.5 hours tonight here in Bay Ridge. As we make our way out to Denzine's Wharf, if you can imagine, if we were here right now, 237 years ago, we would see a couple of dozen ships loaded to the brim with cannons. They would have been all right out here off the coast of the Narrows. A good majority of the 20,000 troops that were here in the five-borough area that were still in occupying manner, they left from this area. Add to that another 30,000 loyalists who had the opportunity to go back to England for free. And the Denzine family was one of those families that took the opportunity to go back. You could imagine all the troops leaving from right here. Is the wind noise really bad, guys? It's quite windy down here. I wasn't expecting it to be this windy out here. It is quite windy. So I hope the wind noise isn't too bad. Good to see you, Norm, out there in Bangor, Pennsylvania. Not killing you? Good, all right. I thought it's a little bit more windy than I thought it was going to be down here. here it is. Good to see you, Blondie. Welcome. Here it is. Here's the remnants of Denzine's Wharf. Now you have to really, you gotta put your imagination now. We gotta put our imagination caps on, because where I'm walking right now, 237 years ago, this did not exist. So this is not the coastline 237 years ago. And Denzine's Wharf was a lot bigger than just this little pier that's sticking out here. Think of it like a big T-shaped pier. It was a ferry that ran from this side of the Narrows across over to what's today Staten Island. You hear me? It isn't so overwhelming. Good. All right. That's good. If you can imagine, it was a big T-shaped pier, and it came out quite a distance here. Let me see if the gate's open. If the gate's open, we're going out onto it, and we're going to trespass on U.S. Army property, because technically this is part of Fort Hamilton. So Fort Hamilton's right up here. Fort Hamilton was not around during the Revolutionary War. Like I said, up at the top of the hill, there was a family that was loyal to the Queen, and they kind of assisted when the British troops first invaded onto this area here. And it's, boo, they got a new lock on it. It's a relatively new lock. I can tell this is a relatively new lock. Today, this is a weather station. This is a weather station today. But if you could imagine, if you could imagine, this is where the British troops first enter what is today New York City. And the Battle of Brooklyn literally begins right here. The ships all moor up the dock here. They send their scout ships over. They most likely used the wharf here, the Denzine Wharf here. Now the coastline back then would have been on the other side. So on the other side of the highway. This is the Belt Parkway, if you're wondering. This is the Belt Parkway, formerly known as a circumferential parkway. Say that 20 times fast. The circumferential parkway, because it goes kind of around Brooklyn. You know, fun fact about the Belt Parkway. When it first opened, it was considered a tourist attraction because it was, in a sense, like a tour. You visited many different neighborhoods. You started near the downtown Brooklyn area, ended up going through the industrial areas, and then you made your way down here to the quiet coast here, the west coast of Brooklyn, and you saw all the stately homes, and then eventually Coney Island and Sheepshead Bay, and it was like a tour. Good to see you there, Cup of Joe. Welcome. Happy Evacuation Day. Good to see you there, Dean. Welcome out there in Manchester. Happy well, not for you guys, and not for you Brits. Happy Evacuation Day. I want to show you guys the Brooklyn sign. I want to show you the Brooklyn. Have you ever seen the opening to Welcome Back, Kotter? And you see that scene that says Brooklyn, the fourth largest city in the country. This is where the sign it used to be. This is a new sign here now. I will get the redcoats out of here, Tracy. Good to see you. This is where they left. They were leaving from right here. Yeah, no offense to the UK viewers, but sorry guys, I still celebrate Evacuation Day. Woo. I tell you, the sun was out, it will be a nice day. If the sun was out, this will be a fantastic day because it's kind of warm. here it is. Have you ever seen the opening to Welcome Back, Kotter? And you see that sign that says, Welcome to Brooklyn. This is where it was. This is where it used to be. This is the new sign now that we have all over the city. I have to know my history. I'm a tour guide. How sweet it is. So when you come off, this is the off ramp coming from the Verrazano Bridge. So that's the first thing you see when you officially touch that sweet, sweet pizza smelling, bagel smelling Brooklyn soil. But to think right now, 237 years ago, it was actually supposed to happen, I think it was 3 days ago. The British were supposed to leave completely, but they still had troops here. They still had a lot of loyalists here that they had to evacuate. But it was all right here. Literally right here. Now I'm going to show you a funny picture. It is absolutely normal, always a great YouTube premium. I'm going to show you a picture here. Because the British did mess with us. The British did mess with us. So this picture here is showing a loyal patriot of the United States of America. He has climbed up the flagpole, cut down the Union Jack, and he's raising our colonial flag, if you will. And what's happening here? This is roughly in the area of the Cloisters in Upper Manhattan. And good to see you there, Lotus. So this is uptown. This is not here, but this is by Fort George, where the George Washington Bridge is roughly, and Fort Tryon Park and all that whole area up there. But basically what happened was George Washington and his Continental Army were having their big party downtown where Prince's Tavern is today and the Stock Exchange is today. And they had a big procession. And then the idea was that after this big procession downtown, they would make their way uptown and celebrate at Fort George right after the British left. But what the British did, the British cut the cord from the flag so that you couldn't take down the British flag. And here's where it gets even more funny. They actually greased the pole so you couldn't climb up the pole and change flags. So after some trial and error, this guy here, and I'm blanking on his name. I shouldn't be blanking on his name right now because his name is very integral to the story. He's like a forgotten general. But he eventually makes his way up to the top of that flagpole, cuts off the Union Jack, starts flying our proud flag there. And as you see, the troops were cheering at Fort George. So this is about 13 miles from where we're at right now, where this picture is depicting there. This is where the British leave. This is where all the loyalists leave. So this is a very sad mood in this area here 237 years ago at this very moment. Dozens of ships would have been right here. Dozens of ships, massive ships too, would have been right here. And they would have left from the Denzine Wharf, right up there. The History Guide, it's a great YouTube channel called The History Guide. He put out a video today in honor of Evacuation Day. Please check out that video. I'm probably going to tweet out that video later on today. Check out that video for a really good comprehensive breakdown of what happened here, because it's quite amazing. Yeah, I forgot his name. That's why he's a forgotten general. That's exactly. Exactly. He has a very British kind of big name. So I try to memorize it. If I had a second device, I would have turned on my second device. I don't have a second device right now. Let's walk through the neighborhood here. Let's see what's going on down here in the ridge. Got to clean up my bike lane here. Most of us call this simply the bike path, but the official name is the Shore Parkway Esplanade. Nobody calls it that. This is the bike lane, and you got to use the bike lane properly, guys. Come on, got all the gear in the world. So this side here is for pedestrians, and the other side is for bikes. But like, there's the pedestrian in the bike lane, so it's like And it's a little narrow spot here. I gotta say, probably all my years of riding this narrow spot here on the bike lane got me probably ready for the Brooklyn Bridge. And this is wider than the Brooklyn Bridge. This is considerably wider than the Brooklyn Bridge. Hear that truck going over there. But yeah, woke up at 6:30 this morning. My throat was dry because we were getting heat, and it's evidently almost 60 degrees outside today, or right now. So it's quite warm, and yeah, it's kind of I should do a sunrise live stream sometime. See if the audience likes that. Wind is always a little bit stronger right here when you hit the narrows. Right here when you hit the narrows, the wind gets just a little bit stronger. I always wonder if the bridge, like kind of like a skyscraper, funnels the air. Probably does to a certain extent, but it's kind of amazing, right, Dean? I always think about that. And I think what's even more amazing is that they did not teach me this in elementary school. Like, this is probably one of the most important places in U.S. history, you know? Like the British troops left from right here. Literally from right here. And to know that I had to learn that in my 20s, when I really got into history and tour guiding and whatnot. And I was like, why didn't they teach? Like, I would have loved to learn this in like 8th grade or 6th grade or something like that. And they could actually bring us down here and show us. But like, to think, 2 things happen here. The Battle of Brooklyn begins here, and then the last troops leaving on evacuation day leave from right here. So this is the beginning and the end of the Revolutionary War, is literally right there in that little spot where that pier is. Kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing. Exactly. All the fish hang out here under the bridge so they don't get wet when it rains. Exactly. That's right. NYC ferry making its way out to the Rockaways. Let's go to Rockaway Taco. Let's go to Rockaway Taco. You know, that's true. You know, that's true, April, because they taught us, we learned more about Jamestown and stuff like that. And I was like, wait, why are we learning about Jamestown when, like, the first battle of the Revolutionary War happens right here? Here in Brooklyn, here in this neighborhood. But the history of this area is a history of defiance. In that weird period, but after 1776, when we, I guess, win the Revolutionary War, when these areas were still occupied, you had people who were not loyal to the Queen, and what they did was they had these things called liberty poles, and liberty poles were these big poles that flew the American flag, and you kind of flew it in defiance of the Queen, and those were all in this southern Brooklyn area here. Good to see you, Chrissy. Welcome. To think, I ride my bike up this hill all the time. I get some speed, and I let the weight of the bike and my pedaling take me up. But we'll be here during a blizzard, and we will be here. Besides riding the cyclone, my other internet claim to fame is that we were standing right here during a big blizzard, and 250,000 people watched me in the blizzard. We gotta do that again. Exactly, Blondie, exactly. Me too. I was in college when I started really learning about what happened literally right here. It's amazing. There used to be a little fort there called Fort Lafayette, and that was in a lot of cool pictures, built for the War of 1812 originally. Verrazano Bridge. Let's go take a walk through the neighborhood here. It's a quick little live stream today. I'll be on later on tonight at 9 o'clock. And we're gonna walk the Bay Ridge here, and we're gonna see which homes have their lights turned on. Because there were a couple of homes last time we came walking around the neighborhood the other night that had their lights turned on, but we ran out of battery. So tonight I'm gonna get some really good exercise. Oh, that's crazy, with unknown history facts. That's funny. That's funny. Let's take a little walk through the park. Let's take a little walk through the park. If you're just tuning in, welcome to Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. Happy Evacuation Day. No, we need more blizzards. We need a good blizzard. I think the city shutting down for a week or two in a blizzard would be, that's like live streaming gold right there. Because I know how to live stream in that. I know how to live stream in intense conditions. You know, I guess the only thing that sucks about live streaming in a snowstorm is you can't use a gimbal. Because the gimbal doesn't like anything below 30 degrees. It starts acting funny when you get it below 30 degrees. Like, we haven't had a good snowstorm in like 3-4 years now. It's getting scary. It's getting scary. Like, I was here for the blizzard of '96. I was here for all the major snowstorms. I mean, blizzard of '96 was great. That one back in, was it 2010? Where we got like the crazy, like, that might have been 2010 or maybe earlier than that. There was one that it like shut down the city, and oh yeah, that was the Snow-a-Cane. The Snow-a-Cane, that was 2010. That was the one Pix 11. That was where me and my Pix 11 relationship started, was in 2010. Back when you was in school, you hated social studies, but watching my stuff is so interesting. You gotta keep it interesting. It's all about the presentation. One of my favorite teachers, Miss Murphy, she taught me about that. She told me about presentation and how presentation really means a lot for one to be engaged and, you know, wanting to remember something and listening to something. Keep praying no snowstorms. Just a snowstorm here in New York City. A good blizzard. But the Snow-a-Cane was like epic. I didn't have traffic on my street for like 4 days. And then I have the first vehicle coming up my street clearing the snow. I have that all. That's all on video. I have it. Check the replays for the Snow-a-Cane. And see my infamous Snow-a-Cane video where you see a city bus get stuck in the snow. Right, Cup of Joe? Every day there's a theme, and that's great. That's absolutely. You know what? Not today. I remember when was that? When you guys had that evil lake effect snow, and it like you had lake effect snow for like 20 days or something like that up there in Buffalo. That was scary, man. Like Fort Mott in South Jersey, built as a defensive system of the Delaware River following the Civil War. Awesome. They like checking out all that kind of stuff. I really want to go down to Cape May, New Jersey and see the big elephant. Yeah, global warming at its finest, that's right. But, I mean, Buffalo, lake effect snow is terrifying. To think it's going to snow in the same spot for like days I can't even comprehend that. Because here in New York, we're so tied to the ocean, and the ocean really does affect a lot that, yeah, I can't even imagine. Like the snowcane in 2010, that was like literally like a hurricane meets a snowstorm. Exactly, every year you have snow, right? Every year. We used to get the leftovers, that's right. As I make my way along the coast, yeah, not that bad. Not as bad as Buffalo, for goodness sake. And folks in Minnesota and Wisconsin are like, oh, just a little 5-feeter there. The kids can't go, the kids can't walk to school. There's only 5 feet of snow there. Elmira is on the snow belt. I didn't know that. You remember getting a big blizzard you had on Easter? Yeah, I think the Easter storm, that was in the 60s. That was in the mid-60s, the big one. That was another one that shut down the city for like a week. So why is Evacuation Day? Evacuation Day from this area right here. So on this day, 237 years ago, British troops finally left in an occupying manner here in, well, the whole country, but mainly here in this area here in New York City. And we were just at the spot where they left from, where they were evacuated from. Oh, in the 80s, interesting. An Easter storm in the 80s, I would remember that. It used to snow when you walked to school up to your hips. Nice. That's real snow right there. But Evacuation Day is like a forgotten holiday. We used to celebrate it up until World War I. And after World War I, we stopped celebrating it. It was a federal holiday for over 100 years. But also as Thanksgiving got more and more ingrained in the country's kind of psyche, people also, especially after World War I, really began to forget about Evacuation Day and what it was about. And I'm gonna, if you follow me on Twitter, I'm gonna post a video from the history guy, and he made a fantastic video about what Evacuation Day is and what it really means. But since I'm here in the area where it actually happened, I had to show it really quick today. As the sun tries to come out. As the sun tries to come out. And I'm very happy to report that I saw a sneak preview of what our mini mermaid parade is going to look like tomorrow morning on the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's going to be pretty cool. Kate Dale made an absolutely gorgeous float. At Dutch Maz. Catch me on all social media at Dutch Maz. Now a little dusting and schools are closed. Yep. People can't handle it. But like this is an old. You want to hear something? This is really funny. This is something else that Hawkins back to my childhood days. Of course, this is where I used to go sledding, right? And look at this. This is why this looks like this. You see this little groove right here? Does anyone see this? Does anyone see this little groove right here? Because this is the main spot when we're sledding. This is the main spot where people go down when they're sledding. Today, I mean, I've done it myself. You can ride a bike down this too, which I've done many times. I used to do that all the time, like just for fun, to relax. Gotta do that again. As we look at the bridge, sun's trying to come out. Crazy shaft of light. Look at that. Wow. That looks crazy. But to think, 237 years ago, there would be dozens of ships all out there just past the bridge, and little shuttles were ferrying people to those ships. Some 20,000 troops and 30,000 loyalists all making their way back to Britain. You can get back up. You can get back up. Look at that view. Wow. Pretty right now. Kinu's in the house. Good to see you, Kinu. Doing great. And I'll come right here to go sledding. And it's nice out here right now. Nope, not the Nina, the Pina, and the Santa Maria. Nope. British ships with weird names like the Asia were right out there. The Nina and the Pinta and the Santa Maria never came here. But in 1572, Giovanni da Verrazano, he comes just past the Narrows here, and he thinks New York Harbor is a lake, turns back around, and he does not discover New York Harbor. Henry Hudson does that in 1609. No, we don't have reenactments here, unfortunately. We do have some reenactments for the Battle of Brooklyn in Greenwood Cemetery, because there's a few memorials for the Battle of Brooklyn in Greenwood Cemetery. And so they would do reenactments of the Battle of Brooklyn, but not of the Evacuation Day. But I could imagine back in the day, before World War I, there probably would be some kind of party or some kind of thing that would happen, that would go on to commemorate the day. Good to see you there, Moonlight. Privyet to my Russian viewers. Privyet. Just got to finish up here now, make our way over to 3rd Avenue. And call this a live stream. I'll be on later on tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern time, and we're gonna walk Bay Ridge at night looking for some very overly decorated homes for Christmas. So Christmas preview tonight. Y'all got already Christmas previews, but we had the exclusive yesterday. Last night on the live stream, we actually saw the official lighting ceremony for the Saks Fifth Avenue lights. So lots of people have the windows doing their thing. We're going to see those windows doing their thing in a couple of days, but we somehow stumbled upon that. That was kind of cool. And guess what, Tracy? I found my second battery for the gimbal. So I found it, and the charger did work last night. Once I plugged it in, it did work. But I found a second battery, so I could just switch the battery. You call it a Macy? Wow, look at that. You call it a Macy's? Yeah, I found a second battery. I forgot I had a second battery for this thing, but I found it. Wow. Would you look Look at that. Doesn't that look just cool? Fantastic view of the bridge. With the sun, look at that sun shining, beaming out from the clouds right now. Good to see you, Jim. Everyone give Redstone Soldier a follow. He's a great YouTuber out there in Central Merches, Long Island. Doing some beautiful sunrise live streams there. Wow, wild view. Wild view with the clouds. No, I didn't buy a new gimbal. No. Still using the old one I've always had. I found a second battery for it though. I forgot this gimbal had. I got it with a second battery, and I found a second battery this morning. Then I was a little nervous it wouldn't work, but it was charging up. So, I think it rained. Did it rain early this morning? No, it didn't rain early this morning. But it didn't rain early this morning. But tonight going into tomorrow morning is going to be horrible. And for the little bit of a live portion for the Thanksgiving Day parade, it's going to be quite interesting to see that tomorrow morning. Oh, I'm glad, Jim. I'm glad you enjoyed yesterday's tour. Yeah, yesterday's tour was really good. I quite enjoyed it, watching it on replay last night. I very much enjoyed that. I mean, you literally saw. The only thing we didn't see was the actual Rockefeller Center Christmas tree lit up, and we're gonna see that. Oh, I know, Tracy. Yeah, I know. For tomorrow, in the morning, especially when they do the small live portion of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, it's gonna like downpour. Let's go into the neighborhood here. I gotta go to the supermarket. I'm gonna go to the supermarket, get some food, but join in later on tonight. Wow, on the 56-inch HD, and the colors were fantastic. Awesome. Thanks for throwing me up on there on the TV. Putting me up on there on the TV. Throwing up doesn't sound that great. Putting me up on the TV is better. Right, me too. I was like, was that the voice of God? I wasn't expecting that. I had no idea that was going to happen, guys. I had no idea. There's a dog in that car. There's a dog in that car barking. I don't know how I feel about that large dog being in that car all alone, but then again, it's not summertime, so it's not crazy hot. So I know the dog is not suffering. But still. Oh, passing by my favorite building. That's true, Trace. Yeah, it was all planned, guys. It was all planned. Here it is. Here's the Joan. I would live here at the Joan just to say I could live at the Joan. The Joan. Da, 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 the Joan. All right. Yeah, join me at 9 o'clock tonight. And we're going to do a little survey here of the homes. Probably watch me walk 6 miles tonight. That's right, Tracy. They actually waited for us a few minutes. They made sure we looked at all the other windows and the Joan. This is like a vintage sign. Wow, this is like a vintage sign. Look at this. I've never noticed this before. This has literally been here forever. Wow. Look at how it's faded out. Wow. That is an old sign. Holy cow. It's a really old sign. Oh, Bay Ridge. Such a lovely neighborhood. Yeah, the red is completely gone. You want to welcome for sharing out there, Mile High City. Good to see you there, Kay Brody. Welcome. Remember, join me at 9 o'clock tonight, New York time, and we're going to walk the neighborhood at night, and we're going to check out who's lit up here for Christmas. We definitely have some really big homes already lit up, but I want to catch the whole neighborhood here. Yeah, come on out, Keanu. It's a nice neighborhood. Got good food out here. Got good pizza. How about that? We got good pizza. Whether it be Vesuvio's or Nino's or... There's a few different places. I'm actually a Nino's guy. I'm a Nino's. I could eat Nino's every day. Nino's is home of the grandma. One of the best grandma pizzas in the city. I know how to talk to you, right? Yeah, let's get that food ready. And then we got good Thai food places and Chinese places and Arabic places. And what kind of falafel do you want? We got 3 different types of falafel here. You could get Lebanese, you could get Syrian, or you could get Turkish falafel. We have utility poles. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Now, and here's the deal, though. In this section here, you got to understand, this is Bay Ridge, so we're kind of high up on the hill. So these utility poles, for the most part, are only communications. So only cable and telephone go over those lines. The majority of everything else, like electricity, that's all underground. Just finished your exercise. Nice. Welcome, Mr. Fox. Welcome. Like if I just go 1 block over, there's no more utility poles because everything is underground. Here, it's only cable and telephone. But electricity is all underground. And fun fact, during Hurricane, this is how good the system is here in Bay Ridge, in the Bay Ridge area. During Hurricane Sandy, I never lost electricity and I never lost cable TV. So I was online the whole time. Oh, okay, awesome. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. What are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I'll be on tomorrow night. And we're going to be in Dyker Heights. Oh. There we go. All right. Good to see you, Arlene. Welcome. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Just finishing up now. I got to go shopping. I got to go to the supermarket. Never lost power, never lost cable during hurricane. So I was the one communicating to everyone, especially down in Coney, when they lost everything. Luckily in Coney, they never lost cell phone service. So I ended up being the one giving everyone the report, if you will. All right, guys, 1 more block. And we will call this a live stream. Happy Evacuation Day. I'm glad you found me too. If you love New York City, you must be thrilled. I try to show you guys everything. I try to give you guys a little bit of fruits of knowledge, little factoids, if you will. But also, I'm not always in Manhattan. A lot of time I'm out here in Brooklyn. Sometimes we go to Queens. Sometimes we'll go to Staten Island. I have never live streamed in the Bronx before. But if you're just finding me, lots of replays. I've been live streaming for over 5 years now. You're thrilled. Awesome. But tonight at 9 o'clock, we'll be right here in Bay Ridge. And we're going to check out the holiday homes here in Bay Ridge, kind of a preview. And then tomorrow night, I'm gonna walk off my turkey and we will be in Diker Heights, the main neighborhood for the Christmas lights. That's right, Keanu. Thank you so much. Good to see you, Jen. Good. You're excited. You get excited when I go live. Awesome. Spent many hours in Bay Ridge in the 40s. That was a golden era. I see my godmom. She has great pictures of what it was like to live here in the 40s. It must have been magical to be here in the 40s. So many places you discovered. Awesome. That's right, Tracy. I appreciate that. All right, guys, my battery's about to die. And I have to go shopping to get some final stuff for Turkey Day. So, gobble, gobble until you wobble. I want to thank everyone for tuning on in. Like I said, I'll be back on at 9 o'clock tonight. And I won't forget the beer. Absolutely not. That's what my mom said, actually. So, my mom said, don't forget the beer. So, from Bay Ridge, this is Dutch Ma signing off. Have a fantastic Bay Ridge day, whether you live here or not. Hug your loved ones, cherish your moments. And I'll see you later at 9 o'clock, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are. Happy Thanksgiving, folks, if I don't catch you before then. Sure ya. My mom is smart. She's the smartest. See you later, guys.